So I, just like a lot of the rest of us, can't afford to buy the highest end graphics cards to enable developers to utilize 20 or more gigabytes of VRAM because, you know, why bother optimizing? But it is what it is. In the meantime, I'm actually quite enjoying Star Wars Outlaws, or at least I was, up until the point where we hit the first major town in the open world environment, and the open world environment itself to some extent. And I've been fiddling and tweaking with the settings, mostly to no avail, as we get to a point usually where the polygons and the textures start looking like something out of a 1990s game. You know, when we first got 3D, maybe something like Siberia. Alright, I'm being a little cruel there, but you know, it really isn't how it should look, considering when this game is firing on all cylinders, what a gorgeous game it is. Now, patch version 1.11, whatever it is, supposedly has dropped. I don't know if I have it or not, because the Ubisoft Connect platform is tight-lipped about what version and, you know, technical details your game has. I mean, anytime I logged into Cyberpunk, I was able to see what version I was on in a split second, and it was very obvious when you were downloading an update, but I don't even know if I got the hotfix for Outlaws. C'est la vie. It doesn't really matter in this case whether I got it or not, because right now I'm still hitting the VRAM issues. And for somebody wwho really can be pulled out of immersion by textures suddenly looking like 1990s, early 2000s era 3D, it's not on. PS3 would even look better than what is coming out once they can load in any textures, right? I played Avatar Mists of Pandora, which was by Massive, on the PlayStation 5, and it seemed to be very well optimized for that. Not so for PC apparently, because apparently Avatar on the PC had exactly the same issue, and I've been pulling my hair out trying to get it right, and I think I have a solution, and now that I do, I want to share it with you. Always try these things at your own risk. Have a backup. You can reinstall a game. It's not a big deal. If it breaks, it's up to you. But this is what I've tried, and it's helped me significantly. I don't get any more crappy texture pop-in. VRAM usage is still high, but it is still loading in the textures, and my graphics card is coping, and my frame rates are stable. I'll show you my graphical settings at the end as well, so you can see what my graphic settings are. And this is for a 7900X with a 4070 Ti and 32 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, so that's my basic spec. Anyway, here's the thing. So I'm going to put the link in the description below, but please open it in a new tab, because YouTube hates it when someone's video directs them away from YouTube, and it'll flag it as a bad thing. So open it in a new tab. Don't leave my video. Go and watch something else at the same time, even if it's someone else's. But it's basically low-res texture bug fix, and this is for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. This was uploaded by Coda13 on the 23rd of December 2023, so the fact that we are coming up on a year from that now, and you know, the developers are still having the same issues, is a little bit kind of like, you know, come on guys, cop on a little bit. But anyway, so Coda explains. For some reason, the game sets my texture budget to 64 megabyte, which makes everything look really bad, so it's not even a VRAM issue. I have a 4 gigabyte card, and although that's low for this game, it shouldn't look so bad. I went into the settings and manually changed the default budget of 64 to a higher value, and that resolved the issue. See the images, they have images as you can see here. Now, the effective settings is streamer dedicated budget, and it's set to 64, and they changed it to 512, which I think is absolutely acceptable. So it has to be a minimum of 512. I was on to say you can try 1024 or 2048 or 4096. The game seems to work out its own budget if you have set that too high. So basically, if it can't use as much as you set, it'll actually drop it down to what's available. So putting it higher than what you've got is actually no big deal. Now, I know Avatar is a beautiful game as well, with lots of heavy foliage and detailed textures. I played it on the console, like I said, on the PS5, didn't have any of these issues, and you can be damn sure the PS5 doesn't have a card as powerful as a 4070 Ti. And a 4070 Ti is not the most powerful card in the world or anything, but not too many people are running 4000 series cards. They're running 3000 series cards, 2000 series cards, or the equivalent AMD cards. So really, this shouldn't be an issue. I'm only running at 1440p. Most of my settings are set to high as opposed to ultra. I shouldn't be hitting this issue, not if the game is properly optimized. And like with Cyberpunk, we probably will see it get optimized further along, but in the meantime, if you want to get playing like I can do, because I want to make more videos on it, then this is what you gotta do. I would personally not download this file because it may have other settings which are pertinent to Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Did I call it Mists of Pandora? I think I did. But yeah, I would manually do this one yourself. So give this a go if you're on PC. So basically navigate to your user documents, or you can just click the documents if you hit the yellow icon down at the bottom. I'll show you now. So you go to documents, just there like so, and then you go to my games. Okay, so that is here. Okay, then you go to Outlaws. Then you're looking for a config file called graphics settings. They use exactly the same thing. If you're worried that you're going to mess it up, hold Control, drag it, make yourself a backup copy. Now you right click that and select open with. Notepad should do, just say just once in case it doesn't work. Okay, now you're looking for that key value pair. Okay, so you're looking for streamer dedicated budget. So there we go, 64. Now I'm going to set mine to 1024, right? Which is significantly more. And close it and save it, bang, done. It's a very straightforward fix. Okay, now the thread where they're discussing this is on Reddit. I will also link it below, but again, please open it in a new tab. Don't just navigate away from my video because YouTube will penalize me for that. But if you go here, you'll see it's somebody with exactly the same card as me, which isn't me. It's not an alternate account, I promise, with exactly the same situation. The fix worked for them also, and it does the job. There's additional information here, people saying that using fixed upscaling quality helps because when you don't have it on fixed, it tries to push it to the 4K side of things. So if you're pushing it to 4K, if the upscaling is trying to render at 4K, that's not so good if you're only trying to run at 1440. So if you set it to fixed, it'll keep it at what it needs to be, if you're using that at all. Anyway, so yeah, there's a few more bits of information on this thread. Go ahead and read it, but that's worked for me. I hope it works for you. Thank you very much to XXL Peanuts for helping people out here, because I guarantee you that if you haven't noticed it yet, you will notice it if you're playing on PC. And just a note, if the game updates, maybe there's a big patch or something, there's a chance this file will get overwritten and you'll have to do it again. So if it does happen and you notice this come back, go back in and check this file again to see if it has happened all over again. It basically thinks we're all running potato level hardware. But for those of us that aren't, there should possibly be an option or a slider in settings where we can set this. Games have actually had that for years. So the fact that it's not in the settings is a bit of an oversight. So maybe they'll just add that in a future patch. Fingers crossed. Speaking of settings, as promised, here are mine. Alright, thanks for watching. Check out one of my other videos. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Take care.